Spooky story time, vacation edition. One summer, my dad, myself, and a bunch of my cousins and aunts and uncles went on a trip to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. Instead of blowing a bunch of money on hotel rooms, we decided we would make a camping trip out of it. So we rented a bunch of camping sites at a local camping ground. We basically had a whole leg of this place to ourselves because there's so many of us. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I used to live in a very haunted house. I was still living there during the time we took this trip. So needless to say, I was on edge most of the time. But being quite literally surrounded by family, I felt pretty safe and wasn't even really thinking about any of that stuff at the time. That was until the second morning I woke up there. Now, I was staying in my own tent. When I woke up, I could tell just by the look of the sun out of the screen in my tent door that it was still very early. Didn't hear anybody up yet, so I figured go back to sleep. As soon as I rolled over to try to go to sleep, though, I could hear all of this tapping and scratching and these fluttering sounds outside of my tent. I very slowly crept out of my air mattress over to the door. I had the liner half unzipped so you could see through the screen. And as soon as I got there, I found I had a circle of crows standing around my tent, all of which were staring at me like I was a rotting possum on the side of the road. Like I told you, I'm on edge already. I don't need this shit, so I was gonna try to zip up the liner and close off the screen. But the second I touched the zipper and it kind of rattled, a bunch of them flew away. So I figured I would at least go out and see if I could tell what the hell was going on and why I was surrounded by an army of crows. As soon as I get out of my tent, I happen to look over by my uncle's tent and I see he's standing outside. I was confused at first because I could tell he was looking at me, but I couldn't tell what was going on. So as I'm looking at him, I'm like, what are you doing? He was standing there, laughing his ass off, holding a bag of popcorn. He snuck his little creepy ass over to my tent and surrounded me with popcorn. All those lovely noises I woke up to that had my PTSD on steroids turned out to be a whole flock of winged satans just enjoying the breakfast my uncle so generously made for him. So if you're ever in the woods of Pennsylvania and you hear, you have nothing to fear. That's just the residual energy of a really demented, ill-humored family member of mine.